Hi guys, welcome back to Weeby. My name is Rainy, in case you haven't been informed. Today, I'm actually going to be opening some mail. We got some letters from people doing a shout out and trying to raise awareness about their experiences. This person sent it in anonymously. They're female, 21, from the US, and has Asperger Syndrome. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry if there's some mistakes. I'm not the best at reading out loud, and I'm going to try and integrate some information. I've had some friends growing up, especially one of my best friends from kindergarten forward, who has helped me learn a little bit more about this, and I hope to, share my experiences and everything. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Here we go. The person was diagnosed at age 4, which is awesome because that means that not only were they able to have a diagnosis early on in life and get doctor help and such, it means that their family and everyone was aware of the situation and able to help handle it, which isn't true for everyone. Some people find out later in life, and that can be harder because you don't understand why things are difficult or what needs to be addressed immediately so that things don't have to be as difficult. And here's a brief summary. I had social and behavioral deficiencies coexistent with ASD since about the age of 3. It was partly due to heavy metal toxicity, mercury, and partly genetic. Through a series of behavioral treatments and detoxification stuff, my parents were able to decrease my symptoms to the point where I could behaviorally manage. In high school, I convinced my special ed department to remove my IEP, Independent Education Plan, and aim to accommodate separate special needs, as it was no longer necessary. Graduate, and I am now doing quite well in the liberal arts college. That is incredible. If you are able to get to where you can handle your symptoms sufficiently to have your IEP removed, especially before graduating out of high school, massive achievements there. Kudos. And this person was very kind. They went ahead and sent in some statistics for us. It says over 1% of children in the U.S. are diagnosed with some of the autism spectrum disorder, with about 4-to-1 ratio of male to female patients. The exact statistics for Asperger Syndrome is a little murkier. It can be harder to get an exact thing because, like I said, a lot of people fly under the radar or just never make it into getting a diagnosis. With something that's more of a behavioral issue or symptom, then it's just a lot harder for people to recognize and get that put in, especially since Asperger Syndrome is one of the less I want to say noticeable, but I'm not sure that's the right way to say it. One of the less severe versions of social aversion in autism. The original prognosis was to be high functioning, able to perform daily tasks, but would never be able to ride a bike, perform basic athletic sports, do handwriting efficiently, and develop focus or social skills to graduate high school or attend college. Okay, first off, way to go. Go ahead and kick the butt of that prognosis, because not only did you graduate high school, you did it without an IEP, and you went to liberal arts college, which is just crazy. Good job. That's wow. Okay, some of the symptoms were aversion to heat and loud noises, some minor fine motor deficiencies, gaze aversion, difficulty interpreting sarcasm. That's a big one, okay? Growing up with friends who have autism or even just Asperger's, I am notorious for being very bad with sarcasm, and for people who have difficulty translating it either way, it's hard to stress how important it is to be careful what you say to people, because sometimes they can't tell if you're joking. And especially for friends, if you don't want to be harmful, that was a big thing for me growing up, because obviously I am a big talker and say way too much. But some more symptoms listed here are discomfort and social cues from others, obviously loud noises, obsession with languages and storytelling. That's another thing. Hearing the sound and such can be an obsession with this as part of a symptom. Some physical related symptoms were heavy metal toxicity and yeast infections. But they added a note here. It says all symptoms are now significantly decreased, which is, as life goes on, it's just proven if you know what you're handling, it's a lot easier to be able to go through these rocky roads. For me personally, I included in the questionnaire some things that I've wanted to know about our viewers, especially things like, how do you tell people when they ask about your condition? And here they wrote in that they are a whole lot less talkative about it now later in life, that they have less symptoms. But when people ask, they say things such as, I'm not really great at reading faces or situations. I have a body that's really bad at processing toxins, and having moderate food allergies for why they can eat specific things for a diet related to this, which is all technically true. And I think some people like know what the situation is when you approach food and other things like that. It's a good way to briefly summarize without going into a long saga about what's happening and still help educate people. I asked also, why do you want to help spread awareness about your condition or disease? And they state a lot of people know already about neurological disorders and autism, but they don't especially often hear about Asperger's. And sometimes it's not really stressed about how it's not only a physical thing or a mental thing, but also very biological. And they say, I'm in favor of behavioral therapy. It's a great resource, but in my experience, behavioral therapy is significantly more effective when combined with biomedical treatments. Treat the latter and the brain will become better to adapt the former. They've also included a couple of educational links, which I'm going to add to the end of this, and say that there's a last statement here really about how they feel about it that I'm going to go ahead and read to you. It says, also, while I admire people who choose to adopt their autism as part of their identity, I personally don't hold this opinion. My ASD greatly shaped my experiences and self-narrative as a child and a teen. So in the sense, I consider it an important aspect of my past and present, but not partly my identity. Just a series of aspects I had to deal with. Some more positive benefits, most were obstacles to overcome, and the aspects that remain are almost at average levels. What I'm basically saying is that the line between ADSD and normal is real, but thin. And I think for everyone with different conditions, you view it differently. And this is a good way to kind of go in and out with daily life and viewing it, because it is different little milestones of development and obstacles, and it sounds like going from smashing down all the prognoses, all the original predictions of what people thought would have to happen for this person. They got on a good diet, lowered their toxin levels, and just really knowing what they were handling got better. And now it's just kind of like the less symptoms you have, the better. And so that's our letter for today. In other news, Weeby is currently staying with our friend, and she has Wegener's granulomatosis and how to relapse. She's in the hospital currently with pneumonia, and so she's gonna keep Weeby for a little bit before sending in her information. Hopefully we'll get to meet her, and it'll be awesome. And until then, we're starting a second bear and trying to send that out and around to visit other people and get their stories. Send us in your information so we can try and get the bear to you. I would love to meet more of you guys, and just thank you so much for replying and participating, and see you next time. Bye!